So we need 11 pounds. So you just put this on, and is there a 0?
Yeah, when you turn it on, it'll just 0 it with that on.
Okay, so it's 0'd now. So we need 11 pounds, and we froze 3 trays. I hope we have enough here. We'll soon see. Is that lemon shrub that you made? That is so good. It's better than...
Hang on. Oh, okay, you can do that. I was going to pour it all in here to weigh it.
I may have dropped a couple berries into the bar there.
These are our cleaned berries, and oh, it looks like maybe we need... It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Quite good, as a matter of fact. And we're going to go ahead and weigh this to see if we have our full 11 pounds, right? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. 8 pounds, 7 ounces.
So we've got 8 pounds of berries so far. We're going to need 16 pounds of sugar, which Mrs. W is measuring out. That's a 25-pound bag. So you're just measuring it on your scale.
That's right, and it's going to end up being more than 1 bowl's worth. This is a lot of sugar.
So what I'm going to do is we're going to put in 6 lemons. One is going to be unpeeled, the rest of them will be peeled, and then we'll mix the sugar and the berries and the lemons in the blender, and it's going to go in for the primary fermenting vessel. I'm getting the nomenclature down here.
This is 4 pounds of sugar. Are you sure we need this much? It's an absurd amount.
Well, the yeast will eat the sugar.
Okay.
How many pounds was this?
4.
I mean, 16? 4 of these? That seems excessive.
That's what I thought. You do need more sugar than you think. It really will eat. It will eat. But you're having me peel lemons, which I'm not accustomed to.
Why do I do that all the time? Can you do it this way?
Yeah, but then I don't get the white out. So I don't know if you
that's
want
where the
white
flavor
out.
comes from.
Okay, so save those zests and I'll use them.
Okay. What do you use the zest for?
I'll put them in a... Make you a zesty drink.
A zesty drink. All the shouting, I need a zesty drink. We'll find out who the Top Gear fans are. What's your favorite Top Gear episode? I know you've had to endure enough of them.
I don't know that I have a favorite. That's kind of a...
Hover fan? That was the best one. I'm going to leave that in your capable hands.
Sanitation, sanitation. That's the big food. The key motto in the kitchen is keep it clean. Wash your hands more times than you think you need to.
Okay, so while Mrs. W is doing that, I'm going to get the stock pot fired up here. We just need it doesn't have to be boiling. We just hot enough to dissolve that sugar, right? I don't think so. No, you just throw them in their hole.
Okay.
So do we have some type of a scooper? Yeah. So here's what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a peeled lemon in there.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
I would put this over there. So this is you're being very awkward. This is not very ergonomic here for your body. I think that'll be better. Yum! I love all the lemon zest. It smells so delicious, doesn't it?
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We got a lemon in there. We're gonna fill up the jar. About half lemon first, half berries, and half sugar. You got the sugar measured out there?
Well, what I did is, because it was a 25-pound bag and we needed 16, I just measured out 9 pounds, left 16 pounds in the bag.
So this is our first...
No. Those are not the sugar. So you just want the sugar in the bag.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was less work to measure off than to measure out. I'm always looking for easy systems.
Well, it's not very easy to pour it out of the bag here. There's a high probability of me spilling it on the floor.
Well, do you want to just scoop it out?
I guess I could do that, yeah. Oh, you're smart like that, Mama. Well, look at that. I spilled it all over the place. This is not a very good system here.
I agree. I think I'm in your way, and I think it's probably best to do it in whatever we can in the sink. So, you never want to fill it beyond that. including liquid. It's not going to work. Scoop some
It'll work.
Scoop some of that sugar off, Cody.
No, it'll work. I just needs a little water.
You're going to get a huge mess.
No. Okay. I'll hold the lid on. You suppose a couple of these?
It's just not strong enough is the issue.
I'm gonna try 2. Let's see what happens.
That's a boiling. I'm gonna get out of the kitchen.
You have little faith. All I need is a stick. I need a stirring stick. I can't figure out the... Is this a stirring stick? Can I use that?
No, it's not.
Can you give me something to poke it in there with?
Just don't keep it in there when you turn it on.
Well, I know that.
You'd be amazed. So
See,
this will stain. I would set that on the floor if I were you, or in the sink. I put it in the sink actually.
It's huge though, Mama.
I would.
See, there was zero need for concern here.
Every woman is shuddering. She knows that the stain and the mess and the.
There's no mess.
We've had.
Look at that. That was that whole thing. You thought you were predicting doom and gloom, and look how it just was like clockwork there.
I'm not a little faith, but I just think it's faster if you do less and more frequent, and you don't wear out the motor blender, the blender motor.
No, that's why we got the industrial one. It can handle that. I don't like to take 2 loads, you know, in the car. I mean, I'd rather go through carrying a little too much and get it over with. Oops. Just kidding.
Love, I don't mean to cause problems here, but that is going to stain.
I only had 1 spill. That's pretty good, out of all things considered.
Let's because that's not quite big enough. Let's pour half of that into the other container and let's do it outside.
Okay, we'll do it outside.
Thank you.
What we weren't clear. The recipe didn't tell how much water to put in. So it looks like we need to end up with what, 5.5 gallons?
Yes. So we're guesstimating here, and these containers are about 5.5 gallons, and you know how things like to.
Yeah, so we're gonna split
overflow.
We're gonna split it up between 2. We have all the lemons in, and then as we do the rest of it, we're just gonna go alternate, just half and half.
Yeah.
So we'll. What do you think?
I would go back and forth and box them like paint.
Well, it's all coming out of the same one.
Well, I know, but if stuff's on the bottom in one.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I box them for a little bit.
Okay.
So like we build up your muscles too.
It looks like everything's mixed up good.
This is just like a stain waiting to happen. Isn't it? Probably good. Yeah. And then we'll get it's 12 quarts, so put 6 quarts in the
6 quarts?
Yeah.
You know, right here, this is why Europeans make fun of us, of this nonsense there. You have to put, in America, you have to put a warning label on a bucket in case the child might get in there.
I think the problem is that it's so reactionary. It's like you can have ditches for 100 years, and then the first time an accident happens, suddenly you have to cover all the ditches.
It's going to be the ruin of our country. That's 5 liters. That's I'm dropping the liters in there for our European friends. Okay, a little bit more.
Great.
6.
Close enough.
Does that look good?
Yep.
Okay. So this is the last of the berries here, and I'll just mix them up. I've already used all the sugar. So we'll mix this one up and then put the yeast in them. And then they'll be ready to sit. They're going to ferment for a week. All right, Mama, this is it. So I guess what I need to know is how much water do I need to add to each one of these to bring them up to our 5.5 gallons.
It said that there should almost be almost 6 gallons, not quite.
So we want to bring these up. We want total, with this recipe, we should end up with 22 quarts.
That's right.
So we'll do 11 in each one.
So all the elderberries and all the sugars in?
All the elderberries, all the sugar is in.
All right, all the lemons?
All the lemons are in.
It's pretty exciting.
So we're about to add our yeast, but it's important that we don't want to add the yeast to the cold mix. So it's got to be at least 70 degrees. So.
And it can't be too hot or it'll kill the yeast.
Right, so we're going to want it to be around 70. Okay, so we're going to add the yeast now. So this is a yeast packet, and the recipe called for pasture champagne yeast. We were wrong.
Sounds fancy.
It sounds fancy, is it? We were wrong. It doesn't need 70 degrees. Or Mrs. W, who always reads the instructions, said it could go in at hot water. So I'm going to put the reason why I'm pouring it in the water, I guess, is it'll help you. You're the master food preserver. You tell me.
Well, we don't use yeast when you do the preserving, except for, I guess, here, which I've never done. But actually, since we have two different containers, this way we split it up and the yeast is dissolved before we put it in.
Right. So, because our buckets are not big enough to put everything into one, so this will help us. We'll just pour half in one and half in the other.
Perfect.
Boy, the yeast is really going to like our mash over here, isn't it?
That's like yeast heaven.
It's like yeast heaven. So I guess I'll just stir it
So you're
up
going to
here.
just do a little in one, little in one, little in one, little
Yeah.
in one, little in one, little in one.
Yeah, so I'm just going to do half and half, so I'll just hold my thumb, kind of what I'm estimating at the halfway point there. All right, here we go.
Ooh.
A little bit more. And this one gets the rest. Oh, there's some globbers in there.
Is that a technical term?
It is a technical term. Oh, I think it'll do it there. Okay, so we'll stir this up one last time. And then what are we going to do? We're going to cover it, right?
We're going to cover it?
Not with a lid. It needs to breathe.
That's right.
But we got to keep the fruit flies out of it. So interesting thing that I learned when I was reading about this. So fruit flies, you know how fruit flies, they fly around decaying or overripe fruit?
Yeah.
You know why they do that?
It must be some type of gas.
Well, it's the alcohol that they're drawn to.
Oh.
And they need the alcohol because the alcohol rids them of a parasite that's on them.
Oh, so really we should be helping them out.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of sad when you think about it.
Because who wants a parasite on you, right?
I mean, not that you want the fruit flies around, but yeah, well, yeah, it's not good. It's like having a bunch of ticks on you. It's just terrible.
Are you excited?
I am excited. I'm just, 5 years we'll know if it's good or not.